Hi guys, so I'm back and today I'm doing one of the new format readings, and today's reading is going to be about the question, is Trump getting rid of Sessions? Okay, and so I've done readings on Jeff Sessions, and of course I've done readings on Trump, and even though I think he's not going to get rid of Sessions, it's one of those things where I feel like it's been important to look at what their action. All of this seems to be a form of theater in some way or other. So even though I personally don't really have much of a question, it's interesting to address these claims, right? Because when we look at what they're saying, they rarely ever follow through. It seems to be a form of Twitter theater, right? So I wanted to look at that, and I did a quick spread on that. Okay, so let's get started. We know that this is a 3x3 spread, and we look at the center first, position 5, and we have the 8 of Cups, and we have the Whip. So this is actually a perfect encapsulation of the situation from our perspective, because we know how Trump always berates Sessions on Twitter. And this clearly, just these two images alone would tell me that this is fighting or arguments or being basically combative. And if you look at how he writes on Twitter, or he has written on Twitter in the past about Sessions, it's a means, it's a sort of a means of, it's a threat, right? It's a kind of a fighting like that in order to make him leave. So you could see that right there you have a person leaving, and that's really what this is all about. This is, I think, in a way, these two cards alone would have given us the answer. But if we look at the reading as a whole, we can find out a bit more. So if we look at, say, the first column, and I've said before, this reading is traditionally associated with past, present, future, but I like to look at it more loosely. Not necessarily, it doesn't have to be about the past or the future. It's just, I don't know, I find it interesting to look at it that way. Okay, just to leave it more open, not let it be so much about what's going to happen, what has happened. Okay, so just thinking of it in terms of storytelling. Okay, so looking at the first column, we have the 10 of Pentacles reversed and the key. Okay, and then we have underneath Chariot reversed, Mountain, Queen of Wands, House. So that tells me that the key here is this loss of position, loss of money, I think, for both Trump and Sessions. And we have the Chariot reversed on position 2, which to me means both the issues of the victory, of him winning in ways that were not lawful, but also it's the loss of control. It's something I don't talk about a lot with the Chariot, but it's some Chariot in many ways about the force of will, right? In a way, it's about control, not just winning, it's about controlling. So it's about losing control and encountering this mountain, which is massive opposition and challenges, okay? And what we have at the bottom, we have the Queen of Wands, the house, which I think in this case is the White House, and the feariness of the White House, fire. So in a way, I think it has to do with this to them. Is the key here is averting, if you look at position 1, the number 1, which is losing everything. The 10 of Pentacles has to do with arriving at a pinnacle of one's career or anything related to money, essentially. But it's a card of, you can't probably see it on this position, but it's a card, there's an older man, it's a card of financial success and stability. So it's, the key here is avoiding the situation where you lose everything for both of them, okay? So we see that if we look at the Lenormand storyline, it's the solution here is getting over the problems encountering the White House, okay? All right, so if we look at the second column, 4, 5, and 6, we have this, and I think this is very interesting. If we look at especially the position 4, if we look at the position 4, we have the Magician and the Dog. And it's interesting because and this, in a way, this reading reminds me of the reading I have already done on Jeff Sessions. If you haven't seen it, just go to my website. I have a list of all the readings I've done and just find it there, okay? So anyway, so here we have, I believe the dog here obviously is Jeff Sessions, since he's loyal to Trump. Trump isn't loyal to anyone. Everyone is supposed to be loyal to him. So we have Sessions. And the interesting thing here is that it's showing that he is the one with power, right? The magician, not upside down, is the person who gets things done, who is able to accomplish, to turn his ideas into reality. And if we look at his ideas, right, the sort of racist utopia he wants to build, it's all fictional, I think, but he sees himself, I think now, that's his position. He has this power. He's a magician, right? And then he's encountering the position number 5, which is a lot of pressure, or right, all the meanness to force him to leave. And because the question was, is Trump getting rid of Sessions? The question was really is about Trump. If we look at position 6, I think the heart here refers to Trump. And it refers to Trump being a person who is connected to some sort of illusionary in the middle of the night, right? He always tweets these things at night and so forth. So he's delusional to an extent. And Jeff Sessions, I have the sense, at least so far as what's visible in the reading of number 4, he sees, even if you look at the position of the card in the reading, it's right at the top and right at the center. So he seems to have clarity, whereas Trump does not. He has the moon. But the heart is in the moon, so he's committed to his illusions no matter what cost, right? So if we look at that, then we can see that Sessions is in control in a way, right? So then going back to the first row, we'll just read the first row 1, 4, 7, and then get into the last column. But it's very interesting that the key is the loyalists. And then if you look at the moon card is about the reputation. So at the end of the day, the score will be settled through Jeff Sessions' reputation, which is exactly what I had seen in his reading. That at the end of the day, he's loyal to him now, but he is not going to sacrifice his career for Trump. Okay, so that's what number 1 is saying, because in a way, he's right next to the position 1, meaning he's the one who does not want to change, to throw away everything he's got so far. Because if he decides to not tell the truth for a long, right, he's not telling the truth now, we know that. But long term, he does not want to lose his position. I think he saw his connection to Trump as some sort of ideological soulmate, but at the same time, he wanted to get a position, and he got it. So he's not letting go so easily. You know what I mean? Because especially since he has been a lifelong politician. Okay, so we see that now. If you look at the position 7, we have the Ace of Wands and the Moon, which in Lenormand is reputation. Suddenly, there's what really grabs Sessions is his reputation, and that's what he wants to protect. And then it means the reputation number 8. We see that card that came up just recently for another reading, the 9 of Cups, which means the card of the wish coming true. But I think it also means getting what he wants. And I think here it refers to getting what he wanted was right next to it is the election card. Okay, so the outcome he wanted was for the election, or making, oh, you know what? Actually, I think I'm wrong about the election. I think in this sense, it's a choice. The traditional meaning of this is choice. So I think he's making the choice to look out for himself. Okay, so if we look at the position number 9, we have the Queen of Swords and we have clever, an opportunity. So the Queen of Swords to me represents everything that's positive about the swords. So analysis, clear-headedness, truth. Okay, so we see this is an opportunity for truth, and if we look at number 8, I believe Jeff Sessions makes a choice to look out for himself and to stick with the truth. Okay, so that's what I think ultimately ends up happening. Okay, here we see that there's threats, and if let's look at the rows, but just do the Lenormand. I didn't do the Lenormand, the last column. Just reputation, choice, opportunity. So he makes a choice. He seizes an opportunity to preserve his standing, his reputation. Okay, so then if we look at the rows, the first row, like I said before, the key to the loyalist to maintain his reputation, and then the second row, hardships that come out of this combative environment lead to a choice. So this is another instance, or I think it confirms something I'd seen before about Sessions, which is that all the infighting, like he's not doing anything now, right? He's not going out there and saying, oh, he's wrong or he's right or whatever. The thing about Trump. But it will get to him if it hasn't already. So eventually he will choose. He will look at it in a more sort of a colder way, and he'll be like, okay, at the end of the day, I'm going to look out for myself in my career, and I want to maintain the position that I've had for a long time. And that's what he's going to do. Okay, so this pushing Sessions away is going to backfire for Trump in the sense that he prefers himself over Trump. Okay, at the end of the day, if he has an option, he's going to go against Trump. All right, so and then the third row, we have the heart of the White House sees an opportunity. Okay, to me, this tells me that Trump seizes an opportunity for the White House, right? Trying to fire Sessions. But that ultimately, I think Sessions wins, okay? And he does not, I don't know why. It's funny, the third column becomes about Sessions to me. The opportunity for the reputation, okay? Because we have in a way that the card 9, Queen of Swords could be the law. I just feel that he's not going to be fired, actually. And again, I'm saying this with the background of having done a reading on him. There's nothing here suggesting that in this particular reading that Sessions is doing something against Trump right now. But I think both of them, right? Maybe if Trump also realizes the risk of doing something like that. I don't know that he's prepared. Okay. So the answer is no, ultimately. Okay. Sessions is not fired, and that's it. All right. And thanks for watching. And that was Trump. Is Trump getting rid of Jeff Sessions? And the answer is no. But Jeff Sessions will get back at him at a later date. Okay. Thanks for watching. Bye.